We're out here today with Dave Hammond of Delta Pro Fishing. We're out here hunting down California's largest game fish, the white sturgeon. Now, we might catch a green sturgeon, but those are few and far between. But we're sitting out here in the California Delta. We're on an outgoing tide right now. We're in about 30 feet of water. I think we're about 30 feet of water.
Yeah, about 30, 32 feet of water.
Okay. The line we're using is 50 to 60 pound braid. We got 80 pound mono leaders. Double hook setup. This is a grass shrimp setup. Non-lead weight on the very end. Terminal tackle. You don't want to skimp on your terminal tackle. We got stainless steel ball bearings with a coast lock snap. That's one thing you don't want to skimp on when you have a possibility of catching a 100+ pound fish. A fish of a lifetime, you don't want to lose it. So Dave, tell us a little bit about the rod you're using, okay?
Well, we've got 3 different kinds of setups. You don't have to break the bank when you come out here to sturgeon fish. If you're just starting out, here in the middle we've got a ugly stick with a Penn 320 GT. That'll do the job. It's a 7-foot rod rated 20 to 50. We've got 65 pound braid on there. And you know, when you're just starting out, you don't want to break the bank. You can go with something like that. If you want a little higher end, we've got over here a Seeker black steel graphite rod. It's a 270 blank G270H is what I use in the 8-foot. A little bit longer. Then over here we got a little bit higher setup, and that's Inland Series Seeker Blue Lightning with Avid SX. It's a little powerhouse reel. It's got 16 pound drag. It's a little more advanced. You know, it doesn't have the level wind, so you gotta, when you're catching the fish, you gotta, you know, move the line back and forth. It's probably not for a beginner, so it's a little higher end. But we're using a little heavier stuff when we're focused just on the sturgeon, because like Terry said, you can get fish, you know, 100, 200 pounds, so you got to be ready for it. And a lot of those fish are oversized fish, so if we're using light stuff, light line, you can end up killing those big fish. So we want to get them to the boat, you know, enjoy the fight. We want to get them to the boat and get them released, you know, get a pitcher in the water and send them on their way. And if you have lighter stuff, you can't, you know, you can fish an hour or fight them for about an hour until you land them. So we got higher end, heavier stuff here, try and get those fish in but still have fun with them.
So with this heavier stuff, basically what you're saying, the sooner you can get on the fish, you know, work on it, tire it out, the quicker, less stress you're actually putting on the fish, and the better chance of survival that big spawning fish might have.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Absolutely. So that's why we're here. We would like to catch one about 50 pounds or so to keep, because there ain't nothing like a good slab of smoked sturgeon. I'm telling you, it's awesome. If you've never tried it, we're going to catch one today, so I'll tell you how it tastes, all right?
Yeah.
So Dave, show us a little bit about what the bite might look like.
Okay. There's 2 different types of bites out here. We call one's the suicide bite. Just be something just like this. The rod just sit here and just goes straight down like that. Maybe not as quick. Something like this, straight down. Sometimes it might look like that. You think it's a suicide takedown, but you're on a good line of sturgeon, and it's just actually, it's a line rub. And a lot of times it'll come down like this, and then you'll see at the bottom it'll go tap, 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 because it's tapping on the scoots on the side of the sturgeon. But what we're looking for, really what we'd like to see, is a classic pump, they call it. And that's something more along pull, 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 like that. Now, when you see any kind of movement on the rod tip, you want to get back here and get ready, you know, because it can happen fast, and that's your one opportunity. Once that rod bottoms out like this, the sturgeon feels that pressure, and you're done. That's it. You might as well just sit down. If that rod gets straight out like that, more than not, if they don't hook themselves, then you're done. If you want to get back here on that first pump, 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 get ready, get your hands ready. That's why we use these balance feeds. You're reeled up, you're ready to reel. As soon as you swing on the fish, wait for that rod tip to go. You want it to go down. You don't want it to come up, because that's when it's going out of their mouth. You'll miss them. Wait till that rod tip's going down or on a suicide takedown, and hit them with all you got. Hit them, keep the rod tip up, reel down, get that line picked up, and then hit them again. We use high-end stuff. You're not going to break the leader. You're not going to break the terminal tackle. There's a main line, and these fish are tough. They got tough mouths, but we use sharp hooks, all high-end Gamakatsu owner, and we're using some kale hooks today. And you want to bury that hook in there, and then keep on the fish, because a lot of times Actually, the last trip out, the four keeper fish that we got, they came immediately to the boat. So be ready. A lot of guys think they lost the fish, or, oh, I lost him. No, you got to reel on those fish. They'll come right to the boat, up around the anchor. They'll do anything they can do to get away once they know that they're hooked. And a lot of times, guys will bring these fish out. Oh, it's not a very big fish. Well, they don't even realize, the sturgeon don't even realize they're hooked. And when they get to the boat, then they go nuts. So be ready. Be ready. You know, these fish are big fish and they're athletic fish, and they'll give you a run for their money. They're fighting for their life. You're fighting for a pitcher, you know, on some of these big fish. So they'll do everything they can do, but you got to be ready. You know, you got to be watching your rod tips, and you got to get back to them pretty quick. You know, some of the suicide takedowns, like I said, if you aren't on that rod, if you aren't back there, you miss your opportunity. You might only have one opportunity in a day. You know, we're looking at a handful of opportunities today. You got to be prepared for it and ready for it to make it happen. Otherwise, you go home empty-handed. It's not like striper fishing or some of the other species out here. If you miss one, you got another shot, you know, later in the day or maybe in the next 5 minutes. Out here, oftentimes you might get 1 or 2 opportunities in a day, so you got to make it happen.
So let's talk a little bit about the bait that we got. We got on one rod we got shad, and the other 2 rods we have both ghost shrimp and grass shrimp.
Yeah, the kind of the hot bait this year. That every year there seems to be a bait that's not your normal shrimp bait that seems to be hot. A lot of years it was a salmon roe, but the runs of the salmon up here in the Sacramento haven't been as good lately. It doesn't seem to work as well. We do keep it in the lineup here and there, but this year seems to be shad. Seems to be kind of the bait that a lot of guys don't necessarily use, especially down here in Suisun Bay where we're at. But it seems to be a really good bait, so we've got that in the lineup. So today we have shad. We have grass shrimp, ghost shrimp, and then we have some eel that we put on there. It's a tougher bait when you're in a lot of smaller fish, but you're on the line of sturgeon. It's a great bait because it'll stay on your line. If you're getting bit by a lot of smaller fish, you know that you always have that eel on there. So we cut them out, fillet out the eel, little 1-inch strip. You put it on with your ghost and grass shrimp. It'll stay on there all day. Well, actually, when you change your baits, you just take that strip off, put it in your little Tupperware bowl with your other eel, shake it up, and get a fresh strip out. And you can keep a fresh strip on with your ghost and grass shrimp throughout the day. But thread them on. Some guys put 5 or 6 on. You just need a couple. Just thread them on, just like a worm. Cover the hook, like so. That's for grass. And we'll put a ghost shrimp on this bottom one here. I like to take the claws off the males, because when you set the hook, if that claw's like that on that sturgeon, guess what? It's not going to bury in the mouth of that sturgeon. So just go ahead and take that claw off. Just on the males. The females don't have the big claws like that. Thread it around just like you did the grass. It's a little bit bigger shrimp. Thread it around like that. Hold the tail. Grab your miracle thread here. Around the tail a few times. Come up around that knot to hold it. Just trying to hold that grass shrimp up. So that's the setup right there. It's fine to leave those hooks out like that. You suck it up and this slides, so there's no tension when they're sucking on that thing. And that's why we balance too, so the sturgeon never realize the actual baited hook when they're sucking on it. This year it seems to be the shad seems to be the hot bait, you know, that's not your normal bait for down here. So typically those are the baits, but like I said, this year roe hasn't produced much of anything this year.
Well, we've got the buffet sitting out here for these sturgeon to come by. We've got it. We've got the presentation. We just got to wait for them to bite. So we're just on the waiting game right now. We'll see what happens. And
well, the waiting game began, and we settled down for what we thought would be a long wait. And before we knew it, it was fish.
Oh, baby! Keep him out there and give me a chance to get some drive out of the way. Yeah, baby! Classic takedown! Yeah!
This is what we came for!
Hooked up!
Been here about, what, 20 minutes?
Hooked up! That was a classic pump. Okay,
Yeah, buddy, you can barely just a little.
Why don't you come over this side?
Delicate pumping action.
I like that, man.
Don't you love that delicate pumping action? Yeah, yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, he's a keeper.
Nice fish.
Exactly.
Yes.
He wanted his Kodak moment.
Hooked up, boy.
Yeah, here we go, baby. Don't you just love it? Chicka boom, chicka frickin' boom.
Let me get this strip bag out of your way. Okay, down around the water. Pressure on. Get everything cleared here. Follow the fish wherever you go. Just follow them.
Okay.
Yeah, Terry.
Yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. Come on, there we go.
These fish are hot. You see that? The classic pump.
Oh, heck yeah.
Gave you opportunity to get over there, but you were ready to go, man. That's what I'm talking about. Some guys don't realize.
Delta Pro Fishing, baby.
Own them.
Dave Hammond. Don't forget that name, guys. Don't forget the name.
Yeah, boy.
Dave
What's up?
Hammond.
That's how we do it down here. Okay, he's going to the bow of the boat. Nice soft tip, but you got that backbone.
Telling you.
These are big fish down here. Not fishing for a 10-pound striper down here. Fish can get 100, 200 pounds. Typically, when they start to get ready, you'll start to see them blowing some bubbles. But they will start rolling on your line towards the end of the fight, so just be ready.
Okay.
You'll think that you may feel like you lost them. Just keep on that fish. Keep reeling. He immediately came to the boat when you swung on that fish. You're like, oh! I was like, reel.
Yep.
Good. You had him, I knew that. You see how he's doing that? See, watch the rod.
Yep. Is he rolling?
He's rolling up on the leader. He's trying to do everything he can. He's getting tired. You're wearing him down. Follow wherever he goes. Follow.
There's the leader. Oh, yeah. You see him rolling right there?
Okay, we're going to go around the butt of the rod. See, he's doing everything he can.
Yep.
Nice. He's not ready yet. He's still a little green.
He's still a feisty. See why they call him a white sturgeon? They got that white.
Beauty, that's a keeper, boy.
Oh, yeah. Perfect size to keep.
Yep.
About. Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's how we do it at Delta Pro.
There we go. Delta Pro Fishing.
Open the bill on that.
All right.
Okay. They don't like that. That's how we do it, boy.
Yeah, baby. Look at it. Right there in the mouth.
Stuck down that goat shrimp. Go ahead and clear that rod.
Oh, hang on, he's right there. That's how we do it. Yeah. First
go,
one of
buddy.
the day. 20 minutes of fishing, guys.
That's
Delta
a good
Pro Fishing. Dave Hammond, you got to be here. Awesome.
Got some awesome sturgeon fishing action. February. End of February down here.
Excellent. Yeah.
Baby.
Awesome.
That's how we do it.
Okay, guys, here in California, you have to have a sturgeon report card. First couple of years, they haven't charged you for anything, so the state of California is giving you something free. Grab it and go. You don't get that too often. You got to fill out the day, the month, the day, and the location code. We're in Area 18. That's the code and the link to the fish. We're going to tear this off. Dave, you got a zip tie?
Yes, I do.
Okay. We're going to tear this off. Poke the hole in there. And then you have to attach it to the fish.
Come prepared, guys. Bring some, throw some zip ties in your boat, because you got to tag these fish right after you get them in the boat, because the Department of Fish and Game's here they want them tagged immediately. Fill that tag out, get it filled out, carry some zip ties. I zip tie it right through the mouth. Put a hole in there. Come on, baby. Pull it through. So now, that sturgeon's tag. You got your date, your location, and your length of the fish. Now, what I always like to do, I like to bleed these fish out. All the fish that we catch, you want to respect that fish, take care of that meat. We're going to keep this fish for Terry. He wants to take this fish, so we're going to bleed them out, cut their gills, get them on a rope, bleed them out, and put them in the box.
Now this
First fish, baby.
Yeah, baby. Now this fish actually has 2 tags. We got the tag we just put on it, and it's also tagged by the Department of Fish and Game. There's your Department of Fish and Game tag. They'll tell you the date it was tagged, how big it was when it was tagged, how long ago, and where it was tagged at. So
Exactly.
awesome, you guys. Been here about a half an hour, bait in the water and fish in the boat. Dave Hammond, Delta Pro Fishing.
Good fish.
Awesome,
Good fish.
awesome. Perfect eating fish right there, you guys.
Real clean fish. Just came out of the bay. Just came out of the bay, out of the ocean. Real white. A lot of times later in the season, in the summer, when they've been in the Delta, it won't be nearly as white. It'll be brown down here from the mud in the Delta. But this super clean fish, real white, real clean fish. So it's definitely a good eater right here.
Yeah, baby, love it.
Excited. We're excited.
We're going to get this fish back in the water so we can get some bait back in the water. And we're going to show you some more. Yeah.
Well, before we show you some more, we're going to show you how to clean the fish we just boated. Actually, it's more than a cleaning job. These fish are so big, it's like a butchering process. But the first thing you got to do is remove the diamonds off the back of the fish. And to do that, you're going to take a nice sharp knife and slice down each side of the diamonds on the back of the fish. Kind of angle your blade inward when you're slicing the diamonds. Get it down each side. Now, if you got somebody helping you, make sure you don't cut them or yourself with that sharp knife you're using. Have your partner hold the fish down. You're going to take a pair of pliers and just kind of peel those diamonds back to the dorsal fin. Then you're going to take your fillet knife and slice the dorsal fin off. Now, once you get that completed, then the next step is to actually remove the fillet. You're going to take your knife and run it along the side of the backbone or the spine. Make sure you keep your knife as close to the backbone or the spine as you possibly can. You don't want to lose any of that nice white sturgeon meat. Work your knife down alongside the rib cage, taking extra caution not to cut into the stomach sac or the gut sac. That's why you fillet it, so you don't have to mess with the guts of the fish. Once you get that fillet peeled off, then you're going to cut it away from the carcass. Now, sturgeon, they actually have no bones in their meat. The only bones they have is what you see right there, is that spinal column and the rib cage. There's no small bones in that fish whatsoever. It is nice, white, boneless sturgeon fillet. Now that is a chunk of meat. Now you just work down the other side of the fish as well, doing the same thing like you did on the first side, keeping that knife as close to the spinal column as you possibly can. As you slice down, if you notice that the meat just kind of rolls off the carcass right there. Now you heard Dave talking about taking care of the meat by bleeding the fish. Notice there is not a lot of blood that is coming out of that fish. That's how you take care of the meat, so you get that nice white fleshed sturgeon meat. And boneless to boot. I tell you what, if you're in a gourmet restaurant, you talk about an exquisite meal. Oh my gosh, very tasty. In fact, the texture of the sturgeon meat is not flaky like regular fish. It's kind of a meat texture, kind of like pork. Look at that big old fillet. Man, alive. Now the next thing you're going to do is to remove the skin. You're going to start from one end, and you're going to work your knife just about 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch above the skin line, and just kind of work your knife in a rocking motion all the way back to the very end. Still, you got to make sure where that knife is at. You don't want to cut you or your partner that's helping you clean the fish, because you want that knife nice and sharp. It makes your job a lot easier when you clean that fish. Look at that. You can't get any better from a fish marker. And you had more fun catching it. Now you just chunk it up and whatever you want. You can smoke it, fry it, stir fry it. It's awesome.
Broiled sturgeon, basted with a little garlic butter. Awesome. Too good. I'm getting hungry already.
Well, since we already had one on the boat, my nephew Jeremy was determined to catch his fish. While we were sitting there concentrating on our rods, Dave told us a little bit more about how to fish the tides.
Well, you know, you got to look at the tide before you go out to figure out where you're going to fish. On a bigger tide, you're probably going to want to fish a little shallower water. Those big sturgeon, they're lazy fish and they're opportunistic. So on a big tide, a lot of times they'll sit in a hole or they'll feed up on the flats. They're not going to be out in the deeper water. So you want to watch your tides the day before, see what the tides are looking like. Today we have a great tide for a bite window through the whole tide. We got about a 2.5 foot outgoing tide, about a 3 foot incoming tide, and we use the tides to show us where to fish. And like a day like today, we can get a bite throughout that whole tide. You know, typically towards the ends of the tides is where you're going to get your better bite window. We just had, we just landed the one fish, and we had 2 other takedowns. We're starting to lose our current on the outgoing tide here in the cut, and we definitely have the bite window going right here towards the last of the tides and the beginning of the tides are typically your better bite windows. But on a medium tide like today, we can get a bite throughout the whole tide. So it's a great day to be out here fishing. The bigger tides, the bite window's less because it's going to end quicker and turn around and come in the opposite direction. So you might only have a 30-minute bite window all day, on both sides of those tides. But today it's just a perfect setup for a great bite throughout the whole day because it's a medium tide. We're in about 32 feet of water. So, those bigger tides you need to seek out a little bit deeper water so you can get enough current to hold the boat straight. You can't hold the boat straight and balance these rods right. It really makes it a tough time when you're trying to catch these fish out here. These rods we're balancing them out here behind the boat. You want a slight angle on them, not too high so you aren't moving any line when you set the hook, but you don't want them too far down because if a sturgeon starts sucking on that bait and pulls it down and bottoms that rod out like this and they feel the pressure, they're going to push that bait right out and your opportunity is lost. So if you get the angle of the bait or the angle of the rod right about there, it gives you a perfect opportunity to get to the rod, and you're going to move a lot of line when you swing on that rod. And when you swing hard, keep that rod tip up, reel down on the fish, and hit them again. A lot of times when you swing, like on the one that you hooked up, Terry, as soon as you hit that fish, he came right to the boat. A lot of guys would go, oh, I missed the fish, and boom, the hooks would come out, but you reel down on that fish and you hit him again, and then he came alive. So now you're out here, you're doing everything right. Now let's land that fish. Don't make a dumb error when it's time to put the fish in the box. Follow the fish around the boat, follow around the motors. Don't horse him one direction. He's going to go where he wants to go. So clear everything out of your way. A lot of times they go up and around the boat 2 or 3 times. So be ready. Have your boat ready to catch that fish. Getting towards the end of the tide here, we're starting to get a little action on this rod number 1 here. Starting to get a little pump action here. Fish seem to have went away, and so we're just waiting here to see if it might come back. A lot of times when they're in the area, they'll come and pump on a bait and then, leave it and then come back. So, got to be ready.
Oh man, too bad I missed that bite earlier. It's my turn to catch one now.
Let's do it, man. Got to be ready.
It's a beautiful day today. We just need a couple more hookups.
You mean the 1, 2?
The 2 that we missed?
Damn!
Well, nephew, that's 2 strikes. It's two strikes you've missed. After the 3rd strike, it's my turn, okay? You got, I won't miss. But hey, we're out here, we're getting some bites. It's awesome. We're having a great day. We've missed what have we missed? 4 bites? 3 bites?
3 bites.
First bite in the morning, I hooked him, got him in the boat. We've missed 3 other bites. It's like, oh my gosh, and we thought we would have them for sure. It's just, hey, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
But nephew, that's 2 strikes. 1 more, you're out, and it's my turn again.
We're starting to lose this outgoing tide here in the Sassoon Cut, and oftentimes to optimize your fishing time, you'll run to the next tide. And out here in Mothball Fleet, Sassoon Bay area, the tide's already turned and it's coming in out there. So when we get to the point where we can't balance these rods back here and see what's going on with the sturgeon bite, we're going to run out there and start fishing. We'll already be lined up. The rods should be lined up and ready to go out there, and we'll be fishing at the bottom of the horseshoe out there. They call it the shoe, and the sturgeon will funnel down into a horseshoe-like shaped contour on the bottom. We're going to sit right at the bottom, be ready with our baits sitting out there for them sturgeon to come through, and hopefully we'll find a few that are wanting to eat this morning. A lot of the boats are already running out there, a lot of the 6-pack guys, so we got about another 5 minutes here. A little smaller boat, so we're able to balance a little bit easier than if you have 6 rods back there trying to balance. So a lot of times you can hook them right at the end, just like we are now. These rod tips are getting a little high, so just waiting for that next shot and hooking one of these horses up.
Okay, we just made a move, going to kind of follow on the tide here. We got now we're on the incoming tide. We're between 2 other party boats. They just hooked up some short one over there, hooked up another short one over here, and we did a little bit of graphing, and we saw some humongous marks on the graph. Looks like it's probably, hopefully, an oversized we can get on camera as well. So we got Dave baiting up our rods.
Got to get in the water. The bite's on right now.
Bite is happening.
Yep, beginning of the first push of the incoming tide is really good right here. We're in the bottom of the horseshoe out here in Sassoon Bay. And those sturgeon, they are following the contour, feeding. They get pushed right here to the bottom. So all these fish up here at the Mothball Fleet and up by the Benicia Bridge, they all get pushed down here to the bottom of this horseshoe. So it's a great spot to sit, even if you're not on fish. They're going to feed that contour. They're going to end up right where we're sitting sometime during this time. And by the looks of things, they're already here. So I'm just trying to get these baits in the water real quick and get a shot at them.
Lines in the water, get some more fish with the Kodak moment, and we'll see you guys then when we got the fish on.
And it was back to the waiting game. Of course, they don't mind the waiting game with Dave around. Dave always has his words of wisdom.
Oftentimes when you have them set out like this, on the balance, one rod does something different. You know, something's going on that one. Especially on a beautiful day like today. Number 2, hit him. Yeah, real. Little striper. Damn, you timed it perfect. When in doubt, swing.
Yep.
When in doubt, swing. That's why we bring plenty of bait. We're on the fish. We just got to figure out what part of this tide they're going to eat on.
Just like when you're bird hunting, you never know if you're going to get the bird unless you pull the trigger.
Yeah. Striker or something. I'm going to keep the other rods out. You can just go, when you get up here close, you're going to go in under one of these rods and over here.
Well, while we were staying busy catching the little fish, the boats around us were catching sturgeon. The bite seemed to be on. Man, what was going on with ours? Man, we were catching all the shaker fish, all the little bait stealers. When was it going to be our turn?
There you go.
Yeah, that's a hook.
We got something on, baby. Yeah.
What it was right there.
Oh, we got another fish on, boy. Let me tell you. Fish on. Fish on. Nephew got on it. Yeah. Yep. Jeremy's first Sturgeon. Jeremy's first Sturgeon. Here we go, baby. This is what we came for. Dave Hammond and Delta Pro Fishing Guide. Yeah, baby.
That's a big fish right there.
Yeah.
Feel that line. Fish that pull back. That's what we fish for.
Yeah, baby. Fish that pull back.
They love that motor. How's he feel? Good. Feels big.
That was almost a suicide takedown there. That was just a little peck yank. Take your clicker off.
I put it on so you can
hear the drag? Okay, cool. Cool.
A little more fun when you hear that zing. Okay, guys. He's going under, Dave. Okay, reel down.
He's coming back, or he's coming back. He's going back by the motor.
Down in the water.
Going back by the motor.
In the water, down low. Good. Keep the rope down so it can clear the front. Good. Okay, we just released the anchor, guys.
Okay, we're free floating here, guys. We're free floating.
This might be an oversized fish.
This might be a monster. This might be a monster. We're free floating. Jeremy's wrestling him. Yeah. Get on him, nephew. Going under the boat again. Going under the boat. He's going behind. Here we go. There we go. Excellent. Good job, nephew. Yeah.
I think we're going to need the snare on this guy.
I think so. We won't be able to lip him.
These fish don't get big because they don't know how to fight.
Oh yeah.
He's a keeper. He might be just a little on the overside.
He's gonna be close. Oh, he's a keeper. He's a keeper. Yeah, Delta Pro Fishing. Yeah.
How we do it? You don't need no snare, boy. You try this sturgeon down here. Yeah, second, nice quality sturgeon right there.
Jeremy's first sturgeon, man. What's it like, nephew?
Oh, it was great. There's all kinds of power behind these fish.
Dang, look at that sucker.
Notice here, guys, we got this fish is really fresh out of the bay. We got sea lice all over him right here. We already got one nice keeper, so I try and encourage guys. There's a lot of meat on these fish. Get a nice one. Let's release the other fish. Enjoy the fight. Let's send this one back home. Grow up.
Great.
Sounds good.
Be a smarter.
All right.
Nice fish. Here we go. Come on, buddy. Oh, he's all fired up.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, there we go. That's how you do it.
Right on.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Delta Pro Fishing. Hey, it's time to go right now.
Go get some more.
It's time to go. Let's go.
Let's get that bait in the water.
That's what's so awesome about this whole, any fishing. Still get you fired up. There ain't too many things at our age when we get in our 40s and 50s and 60s to get us fired up. I can only think of two things, and one of them's fishing.
Yeah.
I know, no comment on the other one. But it's an awesome fishery out here, guys. A lot of guys don't realize it. And you know what? It really pays to hire a guide to show you how to do it. Save a lot of time, a lot of money.
Well, I tell you what, so far we're having an awesome day. I'm excited. It's great. 2 fish. We're taking one home, about 50 pounds. Jeremy just caught a 50-pounder. My gosh, it's awesome. February, look at the weather we're having. It's just exciting. Like Dave was saying, there's not much that excites guys our age. I won't say my age.
My age, too. Hey,
but we're having an awesome day. You guys got to come out with Delta Pro Fishing. Dave, you're awesome, dude. You're awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Yes. Let's get these rods back out. Bites on. I can't wait. Yeehaw! Yeah. You know what? I think we picked the right guide today. We've got 2 keeper sturgeon in the boat. Let's see. Those guys over there have got a couple of non-keepers. These guys over here, I think they've got 1 non-keeper. We've got 2 in the boat today. Dave Hammond, Delta Pro Fishing is awesome. He's got it dialed.
Thank you, sir. You can see why we wait around for opportunity to fight one of them.
That's
go out
right.
and catch these stripers and stuff, and that's great. But you wait around and you get a world count. Here we go, right here. Get ready. Oh, that's a sturgeon too.
Yep.
Let him take it down. He's got it, didn't he? Oh shit.
I was waiting for that takedown a little bit more. This is the shad too.
He's still there.
I was getting ready to hit him and it came back up.
I thought it was, yeah.
I thought it was going to go down a little bit more. So. The bite's on, you guys. Yes, I can't wait. I want to feel the tug. That tug back. The tug back is awesome. For some reason, he didn't like that piece of shad. He didn't like the shad.
Smart sturgeon.
Yeah, that's probably the oversized we were talking about. Oh, this has got a hook in it. I got to spin it back out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The heart was beating. The heart was palpitating.
Yeah. Get you going.
Yep. Got another one on here. Don't fit, baby.
Another hookup, though.
It's a non-keeper.
End of the incoming tide. Got a little bite window here. Hooked up on one, looks to be a shaker. But when the small ones are biting, so are the big ones.
That's it.
Let's see what this guy looks like. Oh yeah.
Just a little short there.
A little too short.
Boy, 'tis a baby. 'Tis a baby, my lads.
Beautiful fish. Real
It's a
clean.
pretty fish, heck yeah. How long is he? Whoa.
He's
Do
about
we have to measure him and put him on the
38-inch fish.
38 inches?
Beautiful white sturgeon. This guy will be ready in about another probably 5 years. Here we go.
Send him off. Yeah, baby.
Yeah!
There we go.
Another sturgeon, another
Dave,
sturgeon.
there we go.
Here we go.
2 keepers and a non-keeper. We doing pretty damn good today. That was good. Dang! Wish he'd have been a keeper. That'd have been nice. But we've got our 1 keeper. We're looking for one of those oversized
we
dogs.
want oversized, nice fight.
One of those over 6 feet. He had about 4 feet to go. Oh, God. But it's a great day. Catching sturgeon, California's largest game fish. Yeah.
I'm telling you, folks, Dave was not pulling our leg when he said the big ones bite right along with the little ones. In fact, the boat next to us, look at that. They caught an oversized fish, which is anything over 66 inches. Talk about some happy fishermen. They were probably kind of sad when they had to throw that thing back. But hey, we stayed busy the rest of the afternoon. We caught a bunch of shaker stripers. And Jeremy, heck, he even landed a flounder. That's some good eating right there. But Dave is a great guide. You want to learn about sturgeon fishing, striper fishing in the Suisun Bay? Dave Hammond of Delta Pro Fishing is the guy to call.
Man, we have had a great day out here fishing with Dave at Delta Pro Fishing. You can go to his website, deltaprofishing.com. Just an awesome day. You want to come out and catch some sturgeon and even some flounder like you just saw we put in the boat. We're going to take that home and crispy that baby up in a little bit of lemon butter sauce, throw in some capers, and hey, we got lunch, you know. So if you want to give Dave a shot, deltaprofishing.com is his website. You guys will have a blast. You'll have a great time. So we're going to be heading on the way back in, Dave?
Yep, we're heading on in.
We're going to try a few places on our way back, right?
Yep,
Okay.
we'll look down at Sherman Island. We're going to chase this tide towards Sherman Island, back towards Brandon Island.
Excellent.
And see what we can find down there. See if we can find another line of sturgeon. So
let's go hook them up.
let's do it.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, folks, Dave is such an awesome guy and a good guy in general. Very informative, willing to teach you everything he knows about sturgeon and striped bass fishing. He'll even go out with you on your boat. I want to thank you all for tuning in to Golden State Outdoors. We're in the process of building a new site, so keep your eyes open at goldenstateoutdoors.com. Thanks again.